Let me know when you're ready.
Ready?
Perfect. Have you ever played in a live stream game with someone besides Fiora?
Yes, but that was let's see. I've done one with Zolan the Bear, and I've done one with Vivid Syntax, both of which were one-shot charities.
Interesting. All right. Are you willing to use a webcam for a stream? We will provide you with one if you're willing to use it.
Yes.
Awesome. What is your favorite module from Dungeons and Dragons or favorite dungeon?
Tomb of Annihilation.
Of course it is.
Well, because like it starts off and everything seems like really tense and at the same time strange and foreign, and then it feels like you're the conquistadors arriving in South America, but South America is here to murder you. Um, and also Rosnazi is like that type of villain where it's like, yeah, if I was slowly going crazy, being eaten alive by a disease, I would be that guy.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Perfect. All right, let me set the stage. If this thing wouldn't disappear again. There we go. This is the Wayfinder Association. My name, particularly, is Viken Brustol. I am the associate of the Baron Lord over here. I am setting up the camera. I have a bunch of books and everything, so you're free to start whenever you like, Mr. Baron. Um, yes, thanks. Anyways, I am Lord Boromir Eardane. This is the Wayfinder Association, as my associate has said. This is the exclusive Adventurers Guild that sponsors expeditions to dangerous and exotic locations and mundane all over Eberron. Now then, I would like you to introduce yourself. Who are you again?
I am Scooter of Clan Roadrunner, as this 8'6" bird person sits down, and instead of taking a seat, moves the seat aside and squats down to sit on the ground because it makes the table actually work for her.
Oh, I see then. You see the halfling kind of jump onto the table to try to meet your height. There we go. Perfect. So then, lovely. I love the look. It's very unique. So then, first question. What motivates you? Is there anything you wish to accomplish in your time in Thrain?
I have things I would like to do. Yes. I am mostly motivated by a combination of comradeship and coin. If it pays or it benefits those who have agreed to travel with me that I consider friend, and there's a very big distinction with me between friend and associate or person of interest, then I will do everything possible, even moving a mountain, to protect them.
Ah, I see. All right then. So I'm looking at you, and you're very big. So, what is your primary field of training?
I am a martial specialist, is the term I believe, but my vocation is technically that of the smith forge and the working of wood and stone. However, I do enjoy swinging my axe.
Ah, Is there anything else you would wish to change? Say, there are some who enjoy religious worship or arcane. Is there something you had wished that you'd be better at?
I had hoped that maybe I would be better with arcane arts instead of the ability to break a table with my bare hand. But sadly, no matter how much Yenagug has invested in me as my godparent, he has not managed to find a single spark of the arcane within.
Ah, I see. Give me just a moment. Someone knocked on my door. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Anyways, let us get back to the questions indeed. So, you must slay a human. Describe it for me.
Yes. So I would run up, looking all angry and snarling at his friend.
His friend.
Raise my axe like I am about to rip his friend in half, scream out in rage, and then punch him in the genitals before bringing the axe to split him from nose to crotch.
Remind me.
Not his friend. Not his friend, by the way. His friend would now be watching me do this to the target.
Remind me either to A, not bring a friend around you, and B, not to make you angry.
Well, you asked my preferred method for slaying a human. I want his friend to be terrified of it.
Okay, well then let's look at the other side of things. Imagine you are combating a massive lizard. Not a dragon, again, mind you. I would like you to explain if you were more powerful than you currently are, and you have outlandish abilities. How would you best such a foe?
Well, first I would want to make sure he wasn't going to be able to fight me back, so I would stub his toe.
Fair.
Then I would use my weapons to crawl up him like you would use pittons to crawl up a mountain. And then once I got on top of him, I would leap into his mouth.
Into his mouth?
Yes, not down his throat, though. Just into his mouth, where I could then shove my sharp, pointy things into his brainstem from inside of him. Because the inside of his mouth is likely not as thick as the outside of his hide.
Oh my. Gruesome, but I like it. Okay, then. So then, next question is, whom do you serve? Do you bow to some religious deity of some kind?
I serve the demon lord Yenagog is my godparent since birth.
Yenagog.
He bid for me and fought a duel against another demon lord with his champion to come to the agreement, as my tribe always takes one of the 9 demon lords from one of the 9 circles of hell as a godparent for all of our children.
Ah, I see. All right, then. So then my next question would be, what exactly motivates you? As in, what pushes you forward?
This is difficult to say. Are you sure that this is not going to be told to anyone, and we agree that this isn't going to be shared?
Well, given what you said about killing someone's... No, you're fine. I won't tell anyone.
I am a former slave. My master is a monster of the utmost horror, both in his the way he looks and the creature that he is, and the way he acts. I would rather not go back to him at any point. So what motivates me is to do everything in my power to not only succeed and be better off than I currently am, but also to spite him and his bounty hunters at every turn.
Ah, I see. Well, adventures are adventures. Doesn't matter if you're a slave or you're the strongest thing in the universe. Doesn't really matter as long as you want to adventure. Though, speaking of which, I would like you to describe, if you knew you were going to die, what would your ultimate death be? Where would it happen? How would it happen? Why? And what would you like them to say about you after you're gone?
Well, if under absolute ideal circumstances, I would never die.
Fair.
Then again, without arcane powers, I would have to find a very unique way to achieve immortality, which is something I wish to do. But, on a side note, if I were to die, I would not wish for anyone to acknowledge my death. If anything, I would want my friends to carry on with some sort of spell or effect or something so that I was continuously spotted and even talked to in various towns and locations to forever spite my former master.
Interesting, I see. All right, then. Well, let's get on a bit of a happier note. So, what is your favorite food?
It's embarrassing.
I don't think I've heard of that before.
No, you.
Oh, wait, right.
It's birdseed covered in hummingbird juice.
Oh, right. Well, I like pistachios.
Cashews, actually, if you want to add that to it. It's like how you say, but how humans like their banana pancakes with syrup.
Ah, so it's a bird thing.
Yes.
No offense. All right, then.
Perfect. I don't understand how humans can eat banana pancakes with syrup. It completely contradicts the flavor palette itself. But I suppose that's what they do. And I think flavor palette is the right word. I'm not entirely certain, but I think that's the right word.
And I'm not sure how an elf can eat a leaf for a week, so I know what you're talking about. Is there any food that you detest?
Are you asking if there's any food I won't eat, or is there any food that I would not take if there was another option?
A food that even if you were starving, you wouldn't touch.
No.
Ah, well then.
I have had to live off of tree bark, 6-day-old carcasses, and one time the only option was the part of the horse they didn't want to eat, which happened to be his testicles.
Oh, goodness. All right, then. So, is there something that you would be lost without?
My demon daddy. Looks over behind her like he's actually there. She can probably see him. He can, unless he's got like some spell or effect, he probably can't. And she waves.
You would see a massive grinning demon just kind of wave back. He might be wearing an apron. Ah, yes. You said it was Yunogu. What's the name?
Yenagog.
Yenagog.
Yes, the Null Demon Lord.
Ah, yes. He has so many different names. All right then. So then, is this something? I think you might have already described this one, but is this something that happened to you? Actually, no. You already told me you never want to go back there. Okay, never mind.
Oh, there's much that happened.
Oh,
Um,
please.
I am from Droam. To be precise, my tribe lives in the Watching Wood with the lycanthropes.
Hmm.
Through various understandings, we help the lycanthrope police the wood. However, our independence comes at the cost of your firstborn must be given over to the Hag Sister Council, and effectively you are a slave for 20 years. I worked in Greywall under an Illithid, whose name I can't remember. Um, I witnessed many things that still bring me nightmares, and I usually don't take my armor off in front of others because of the scarification underneath and the obvious brand.
I see. So, on that regard, is there anything you regret in your past that you wish to share?
Not slitting that damn Illithid's throat.
Fair enough. Um, Besides what you mentioned, is there anything that you're afraid of?
I would say if one was going to attempt to shackle me, I would break your neck.
Fair enough.
And I would do anything, including eat my own arm, to get out of the shackle.
Whew, that's some dedication. So, this next question might be a bit difficult. So, say you've been traveling with a group of, I'll say friends, as you put it. Let's say they made themselves friends of yours for about a year or so, and you come to a precipice where you must make a decision. Your deity, um, Yanogu Yanagog, is in a situation where you must pick whether he dies or your friends die. What would you choose?
Um, I am going to assume the thing you describe has no room for uh, uh, compromise or another option.
That depends. Did you have an idea?
Um, what if I can just save my best friend in Yanagog?
And the rest die?
Sometimes creatures die. It happens. But I don't believe I could live for the rest of my life without the guidance of the godparent who's always looking over my shoulder, tucking me in, and providing me with comfort as he has done.
Interesting. So he is definitely the choice, but the hardest part is whether you would let everyone in the party die, or maybe if you can save one of them.
Yes.
Ah. That's an interesting answer. All right, then. So, next question would be, if you could choose, would you wish to be born as something else, like a different race?
Why?
Well, I mean, there are some people that are unhappy with how they were born. I've met humans who wish they can be an orc so they'd be stronger. I've met gnomes that wish they can be an elf so they're taller. So, is there any depravity with your specific body that you would wish to not have anymore? That you can be born as something else?
Uh, She looks at herself. I'd be shorter.
Well, being as tall as you, that would make sense. There's nothing wrong with being short.
Maybe a dwarf? Where I could tolerate being in the hot forge longer?
That's very... And you'd get the beard.
Do dwarf women get beards?
Yes.
I've never had that clarified. Thank you.
They do. And when you ask, don't ask a dwarf about the women. It's not going to end well.
Ah.
Speaking of women, or men, do you have someone that you're affectionate towards?
No?
Fair enough.
Are you asking if there's someone that I dream of or something, or someone that I actually have? Because that's my confusion. Because you act like the answer should have been yes.
Oh, well, it's fine. No, I mean, I guess, have you ever dreamt of a fancy?
Yes. A few, but mostly a lovely what do you call a dwarf half-breed?
Dangerous? Oh, right.
It is a dwarfess with elf ears. I doubt she exists, but it is there, and I've never seen a person of this nature, but it is there, and she works very hard in not a forge, a siege work. She makes siege engines and designs castles and works to build said castles as monuments to those who rule in them.
Interesting. So the one you have thought about is definitely a creative individual. Interesting. So, thinking about things you can dream about. So, is there any type of equipment or a special type of maybe a family heirloom or some type of a weapon of some kind that you would always want to wield at some point?
I have always wanted the wonderful light and nearly soundless elven chainmail, and I have seen dwarves do amazing things with this green metal. I think they call it adamant or adamantine or how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, this would be adamantium.
Yes, that turned into an axe, but rather than having a wooden handle, the entire thing from blade to hilt is just one metal block.
Goodness. I can say for aspirations, that's definitely an expensive one. But I'd say that it might be within the realm possibility.
And
So-
I just think it would be lovely just to not have my chainmail ring every time I walk.
That is fair. It can make sneaking around very difficult. All right. So, if you were to be able to take on a curse, what would it be?
A curse? I think I would want a talking weapon that's annoying and insults me. Because it would just drive me to be harder until it eventually admitted I had done something right.
Interesting. Using a curse
And I
in your
can't
hand-
get rid of it. It's like if I drop it, it just appears on my back a few minutes later, If I try to draw a different weapon, it comes out instead, and it immediately, and not just insulting and berating me, like where I can hear it, but like out loud, so everyone can hear it.
Oh, not a psychic weapon, literally a blabbermouth. Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh my. All right. Let's put you in a position to see how you would act. I would like you to assume that you are with your group of friends again, and your Knoll father, Yonagog, desires a specific item, and he needs it. There's a shopkeep that is selling it, and they're selling it for far more that's reasonable for you to actually have on your person. What would you do?
I would negotiate task and services for the item, and if that should fail, I would attempt to find a merchant selling something similar for much less, and force him and see if he's willing to lower the price to meet his competition. And if that should fail, I would find a way to earn money, or I guess suppose go raid a dungeon for the money, or a dragon sword. Dragons don't deserve money.
Oh, you don't like dragons?
No, I just don't think they should hoard wealth.
Oh, fair enough. So, morally, let's see. If you left and you were going to make money for the item, what would you do if about 10 minutes later, one of your friends gave you the item and they said that they killed the shopkeep for it? Would that bother you?
I would beat them senseless, drag them off, throw them in jail so I don't get arrested, and because it's the lawful thing to do. It is, and I would stand witness at their trial against them.
Interesting. I see. Let's see here. The demon prince that has raised you, you would do anything he tells you to do?
Mostly, yes.
Is there anything you wouldn't? What wouldn't you do if he told you to do it?
I would not steal or murder without cause.
Ah, interesting.
He doesn't have. I am not like Warlock, where my demon dad has patronage to my soul. I am more like a paladin, so to speak, where the things granted to me and his watchful gaze and things of that nature come at the price of paying with some of my reward back to him.
So about that, so how exactly does that work?
Well, if let's say that you task me with doing something,
Like this interview?
something that directly benefits you. In
The
some,
interview, yes.
in some monetary way, or in some physically tangible way.
Yes.
Part of your tangible reward would, how you say, vanish under mysterious circumstance. What is actually happening is he is taking his cut.
Ah. So do you need to tell the one you're helping about this?
No.
Ah. And it
If
could be
they
anything.
ask, yes, I have to tell them. But if they are only asking for my help and they are not considered friend, then it could be anything. Examples, he has taken a stillborn child's soul.
Oh my.
A gold piece out of the 10 gold pieces that the person profited for. a upon rescue of 10 servants, one of them died afterwards from their wounds, and their life force was actually forfeit to him.
Ah, interesting. It could be a number of things then.
It could be anything. I could go acquire 100 corks for you, and in the morning 2 of them would be gone.
Ah, so it sounds to me like he's just having fun then. I see.
He is having fun, but it is repayment for service he offers, such as, occasionally I look up and there are cookies.
Ah, I
Or
see.
he speaks to me and keeps me company when I am lonely, or he there are promises that, yes, in fact, I will eventually earn demonic power and infusions, but those come with time and effort, and my martial prowess must advance to the point I am ready to receive them.
All right then. Well then, I think that would be all the questions that I have for you.
Okay.
Good. I will convene with my associate and we will see how things work.
Thank you. I hopefully look forward to working with you and your people.
Yes, of course. He, of course, shows you out. And you can swear you can hear from inside the room after the door shuts. Get rid of the tape. I don't want her to cut me in half.
Hold on. After the door shuts, he does what?
You could swear you hear him say, get rid of the tapes. I don't want her to cut me in half.
You're already half a person. Why would I cut you in half? That would be a quarter.